So yes, I've just got a couple of questions for Esther, just to get to know you a bit better. So Esther, what do you do? What keeps you busy during the week?
Good morning. If I may, I'm Esther. My job is I'm an accountant, specifically an audit accountant, which has a bit of a notoriety as being the boring kind of accounting. But obviously, because I do it, I think it's quite interesting. In terms of what that actually means, basically our job is to ensure that companies produce financial statements that are correct. So we're like marking their work. And as a bit of a flavor of like what me personally, some of the reasons that I think my job is interesting, I've worked on things like BT, selling BT Sport and making a joint venture called TNT Sport for anyone who maybe watches sport. That's the sort of thing that you can work on. I don't know. That gives a bit of a flavor.
Yeah. So lovely to get to know a bit more about what you do. So in sort of the day-to-day of work, what encouragements can you get from being a Christian in your workplace?
Great question. I think there have been a number of different key sources of encouragement for me. I've been at my job for 2.5 years. Possibly one of the most obvious ones is that we're really fortunate in having a network, they call it, called Christians in KPMG, which in the Bristol office there's about 5 of us, but the London office is our main office and has like a lot of people. So it's really exciting knowing that there are others who work for the same firm who also have God as their main focus. In the Bristol office, we meet either virtually or in person every 2 weeks to pray together, which is really encouraging. Just hearing different people's lives, and I think being reminded of a bit of perspective within the workplace is helpful. And just like within the middle of a work day, being able to pray with people is pretty cool, amidst all the different jobs that you have to be doing. Probably another area of encouragement has been, as some of you might know, me and Rob got married last September, and I think a lot of people I chatted to at work, obviously they knew that I was like taking leave and stuff, and then my name changed on the system. So it was quite obvious, but for a lot of people they were like, that's so random, like why are you getting married, and you're quite young to get married. And then that opened up a lot of conversations and opportunities to share what marriage means to us, and like why, like I remember chatting to my line manager about the fact that actually I was moving at the same time as getting married, and she turned around and was like, I can't believe you've chosen to like do this 2 big things at once. And I was like, they kind of come together. And yeah, just like being able to explain that sort of thing has been quite cool. And also a lot of my colleagues, we have quite a lot of international colleagues, sorry, I'm really going on. And they have their own faiths that are not Christianity, but being able to kind of be interested in their faith, and in it, like as a result of that, being able to exchange discussions about our own religions, and that's opened up a lot of opportunities and like deepened my friendships with them as well, which has been really cool.
That's amazing to hear. So of course, as encouraging as that is, we recognise that there's probably some challenges and difficulties you might face. Would you care just sharing maybe some of those things that you find are a bit hard?
Yeah. I don't know if it's like probably not unique to my workplace, but I think probably the thing that I struggle with most is people's dissatisfaction at work. Despite being in what I think it's a decent job, people always complain about pay, working hours, clients, anything like that. I'm sure you could kind of copy and paste into your own workplace. And I find that level of people not being happy with where they're at, or like recognizing our jobs as being a blessing, quite hard, and like trying to not be swept along by that as well is difficult. And then in terms of more directly being a Christian in the workplace, I think, although it's a real blessing having the network, the fact that there's only kind of like between 2 and 5 of us who meet up in an office that's like 300-400 people. And I think that it's more visible of other religions. So like the Muslim network is far bigger than the Christian network, and we get a lot of communications around things like Ramadan, and we're encouraged, rightly so, to be very like aware and considerate of colleagues of other religions. But then, for example, nothing was said about like Easter or anything. So it's quite like interesting how people try to be sensitive and aware of people from other cultures or religions, but Christianity often gets kind of left out of that picture. I think probably, I don't know, that was quite rambling again.
No, it's great to get a bit of an insight into your life and work. And my last question relates to sort of all of this. How can we, as a church family, be praying for you in your workplace?
Sorry, just checking what I'd written. I think, so one of the things that me and the other guy, who meet mostly just the two of us, have been chatting about is trying to get a Christmas carol service in the office next year. So there's one in the London office, but we'd really love to have one in the Bristol office as an opportunity for people to hear the gospel, and we think that would be quite a like easy invite. But obviously with only like 2 of us, it's quite a lot to organise and even kind of get that permission sort of thing. So that'd be like really cool. And also just that if there are other people in the office who are Christians but maybe like don't know about it, or like to be for them to feel able to share their faith at work, and whether that's part of that is joining the network, or just that they would be able to be more visible. And then my final point would probably be more like broad for all of us who are in a workplace at Riverside, to just be more encouraged to be more distinctive in the way that we work, and in our words to our colleagues, and that would be a real mindset of how we go to work each day, or each day that we do work. Yeah.
Thank you so much. So yes, that's just one. Yeah, you can grab a seat. Thanks so much, Esther. That is just one story of our lives in a whole church. So do continue chatting and ask about each other's week. Ask how you can be supporting each other in prayer in each other's workplaces. But yeah, we're going to pray now.